before I start, I am aware of how bad the audio is. I do apologize for that, but there's nothing else I can do. I'm so sorry, but love you. Mwah!
Hiya! I'm finally doing it as I said I would. I promised that I would do the Reddit video, and I'm finally here doing it. I'm sat quite far back today because I'm trying out a new camera way. I don't know if it's going to look good or if I'm going to hate it. Let me know, please, because otherwise I'm just going to continue doing it the way I think, and if it doesn't look good to you, then you're not going to want to watch it. I also have a lot of makeup on today because I just felt like I wasn't pink enough, so I just put my face in a lot of pink, and I spilled eyeshadow everywhere, so I'm not having a good day. I've also run into 2 problems already. I feel like the angle of my camera's a bit weird, so I do apologise for that. I think it's the way it's stood up on my stand, but it's fine. Yeah, so we've run into a problem. My glasses are broken. I need to fix them or get them fixed. The screw fell out and now they're not together. So what is going on? Good thing I have a backup. Hopefully there's not too much glare in the camera from the light onto my glasses and you can still see my face. I might try taking them off at parts. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get into it though because I need to stop talking so much in my videos and just get on with it, so I am going to get on with it. I do apologise for my struggle with reading. It's getting there. I'm quite good at reading, it's just sometimes words get muddled in my head and I can't speak properly because I get really my brain goes faster than my mouth. Keep dancing through. The first one, titled, Am I the asshole for not cooking breakfast for my niece and nephew? If you're taking care of them, maybe. I don't know. My 36 male sister, 34 female, moved into my house about 2 months ago with her 2 kids, 7 male and 4 female, after she ended a really bad relationship. I've always been an early-ish riser and like to get up and make myself some breakfast around 7 or 8 a.m. Nothing spectacular, just what I felt like that day. When my sister moved in, I realised that she liked to sleep in. Some days she was up as late as 1 p.m. That's not late. Oh, I think they meant a.m. But I gave her the benefit of the doubt since I knew how hard her breakup was for her. Oh no, that's how long she slept in. No. Okay, the wording confused me. She slept in till 1 p.m. That's what it was. I gave her the benefit of the doubt since I knew how hard her breakup was for her. Since my sister slept so late daily, she wouldn't get up and take care of her kids. I got into a routine with my niece and nephew that basically whatever I cooked myself for breakfast, I'd make enough for them as well until the other morning. There's supposed to be another comma there, that's why I'm getting confused. I woke up and had an urge to make huevos rancheros. I'm guessing that it's eggs, basically. I don't know what that means. It just looks like ranch and eggs. I'll look it up later. The kids immediately started complaining that they didn't want that and wanted something different. I was nice and ended up making them pancakes since it's not their fault their mum is really struggling. The next morning I was making breakfast potatoes and eggs, but all I heard was, we don't want that, we want something different. So again, I obliged. Finally, after 3 mornings of my unwanted food critics getting a separate meal, I finally told them, I'm no longer cooking 2 different meals for breakfast. If you don't like what I'm making, go ask your mum to get up and do it. So they went upstairs to wake her up, but she didn't come downstairs until after 1 p.m. The kids immediately started complaining that I refused to feed them, and my sister was pissed. She started in about how they need to be fed by a certain time and a bunch of other things that she said to try and intentionally hurt me. I snapped and told her, look, I know you're depressed, but wake up and take care of your effing kids. I can't say that on the internet. Instead of expecting me to do it. She got quiet after that and is still giving me the cold shoulder, but I know she's still expecting me to apologise. Sorry this was long-winded, but let me have it. Am I the answer? It wasn't actually that long-winded. It was just hard for me to read because I'm bad at reading out loud. I can read, I just can't read out loud. In my opinion, you're not the asshole. You just were put in a struggling situation and it was awful. I understand that she might be struggling with a breakup, but if you have children, unfortunately you do need to put them first. And if you're struggling, you should have arranged that with the person you're moving in with, that you need help with childcare, instead of expecting them to do it and then getting mad when they don't. You need to communicate a bit better. I can understand where you're coming from. I can understand you're upset, but come on, love. They're your kids. They came out of you. They came out of your foo-foo, not his. I don't know what you want me to say about this that's on your side, because clearly she thinks she's in the right, but I don't know why. Also, those kids are clearly spoiled if they're complaining that they're getting something different, even though he's stated that he's not going to make something different. Those kids need to be taught properly, and I don't think they were parenting these kids right either. Okay, someone's saying, I want to know who's feeding the kids before this, since it sure doesn't seem like mum gives a crap. And what happens if one of the kids wakes up during the night, a nightmare, or not feeling well? Does she throw a fit for them waking her up? Ugh, why is she up till 1 a.m. is my question, or sleeping until 1 p.m. What is she doing when she's up? Because surely if you have kids, they should be your first priority. Working early, I set like 5 different alarms so I make sure I'm up in time. If I had kids to feed, I'd make sure I'm up in time, feed the kids, make sure they're all good, make sure they have lunch as well, because 1 p.m. is past lunch for kids. They have a lot of dependencies that you're not taking care of, and because a lot of people are saying that she shouldn't have kids if she can't feed them, but she's already had the kids and they're not going to take them off of her, because unfortunately CPS would see that there is a responsible adult that is taking care of the kids in the household and think that's fine and move on. There is nothing that they can do. Alright, let's go into the next one. Am I the arsehole for not letting my niece sew me a dress for a big career moment because she didn't... Am I the arsehole for not letting my niece sew me a dress for a big career moment because she doesn't do a good job? I love my niece and I support her creative expression. I've told her that she could make me a dress for running around the house, running errands, hanging out, etc. I'm happy to wear something she's made at times where it's appropriate. I've worn the acrylic scarf she crocheted me for a few years now, and it's not because it looks good. Oh, honey. She uses YouTube and TikTok tutorials, so she doesn't know how to work off patterns, make tailoring adjustments, choose the right fabric, etc. On TikTok and other social media... My laptop just turned off. Okay. On TikTok and other social media spaces, the cool thing to do is announce that you made a garment from your ratty thrifted sheet using an old pair of shorts you had lying around. Sometimes it looks good and sometimes it doesn't. But she doesn't take time to do the things like pressing or finishing seams, trimming or sewing in ends, etc. Oh, when I suggested it to her, she said it's more authentic the way she does it. No, it's not. She begged me to do an outfit for an event I have coming up where I'll be on stage. I tried to let her down gently and said that I had a dress being tailored as we speak. She said I could wear that one to something else, but I should wear something she made because it would be special and a bonding experience for us. She's manipulative. Everyone in my family is obsessed with bonding experiences. Everything has to be a bonding experience between the adults and the kids. It's exhausting. I reiterated my no, saying no, I do not want you to make me anything. Her mum, my sister-in-law, is telling me that I care way too much about my appearance and my image. This is an event related to my career. The last thing I need to do is walk up on stage in something that doesn't fit or looks like it was made with a sheet, and especially because I'm plus size. How I look is judged more harshly. Oh, bless. Sister-in-law complaining about me being superficial is not new. I dared to buy one designer bag for myself and she did the whole thing you see on Reels, the whole stupid, I would just thrift a bag and put the rest of my money in the bag bit. People are allowed to buy nice things for themselves. I was briefly engaged and she would not shut up about how I supposedly wanted a wedding, not a marriage, because I dared to want to pick out my own decor and not just use whatever she could scrounge up on Marketplace or get for sale at the craft store. My career is the most important thing in the world to me right now. Obviously for my sister-in-law, her child is the most important thing in the world to her, but am I correct to put my career ahead of her child's feelings, or do my values automatically make me the asshole? If she's, I don't know how old the niece is, I don't know if she said, it doesn't say, but I have a feeling she's like, if she's a teenager, which it sounds like she is, because that's when most people get into hobbies like sewing, she should be able to take no for no, and she should get her feelings hurt if something looks bad. She's just going to have to keep practicing at it until it gets good. If she's younger, I can understand her being more upset about it, But at the same time, I could also understand why you wouldn't want to wear it more because it's made by a child. Also, your sister-in-law has no right to tell you what you can and can't wear or what you have to wear. It's completely up to you, and it shouldn't be down to you to spare a child's feelings. Someone said, not the asshole your sister is giving. I would let my kids sing to an airplane full of people energy. It's like that Moana video. Have you seen that video of the kids singing Moana to a plane full of people? I think I would have jumped out the window. I know they don't open. I would have found a way. Open the emergency doors. Okay, we'll go on to the next one. Yeah, definitely not the asshole there. I want a good one. I want an asshole one. Am I the asshole for telling a lady to put her dog back in the carrier on the airplane? Okay. I, 35 male, had to fly to LA this morning on Delta and I had an aisle seat. It was a smaller plane with 2 seats per side. No TV or movies on this flight and I wasn't paying for Wi-Fi, so just me and my music. I feel like that's a pretty standard plane, unless I'm poor, because I only fly EasyJet. I've never been in a plane where there's movies on the seats. Is that a standard thing in America that you have like movies on seats? So I've never had that. I only listen to music on a plane. I'm very big on my music. I take my headphones everywhere. This feels like a pretty standard flight to me, so I don't know why you're already complaining. 10 minutes into the flight, the lady 40s across the aisle was moving around and trying to get her personal item. She busts out a dog. In my head, I'm like, what the f***? I'm not dog friendly, so I tell the lady firmly, you better put the dog back in the carrier. She said it's cramped in the carrier and the dog would rather be in her lap. I tell her to put it away or this can be a bigger scene for you. Okay, I feel like you're being a bit aggressive out of the back. You didn't ask her nicely. I wouldn't put the dog back if you asked me like that either. There's also multiple ways you can resolve this. You can see if there's other people who are willing to swap with you who would mind being next to a dog. But more than likely, a dog will not be allowed on the flight unless it's a medical dog, like a service dog, or an emotional support dog. So this woman likely needs to have the dog, but for her own personal, for private reasons that she doesn't have to disclose. She reluctantly put it away, and the rest of the flight she would baby talk the dog and call me an asshole. I complained to a flight attendant later after the flight. Am I the asshole? I kind of think you are, the way you spoke to the woman, and she did put it away though. I don't think she should have brought the dog out in the first place. Yeah. Do you think it's fair that she should have left it in the carrier? But I feel like it kind of has to be a service dog to be on the flight with her and not in a separate thing. Unless that's a thing in America, but in the UK it has to be a service animal to be in the flight with you. Okay, I didn't know this. So apparently Delta, which is the line that they flew on, says that the dogs have to stay in the carrier. The dogs have to stay in the carrier. Okay, so I feel like, yeah, she should have kept the dog in the carrier. But the way he handled this was not nice. Everyone sucks here because that lady should have kept her dog in the carrier, which is Delta's policy, and you better put that dog back in the carrier. It's just not how you talk to other people when you want them to do something for you. Next time, just call a flight attendant and ask them to handle it. I think you could have just moved. Yeah, people are basically saying, don't talk to people like that. It's just rude. Okay, next one. Am I the arsehole for choosing to go to my grandfather's funeral over my unborn daughter's 20-week ultrasound? Right off the bat, I don't think you're an asshole because you can reschedule ultrasounds. My wife, female 25, and I, male 26, are expecting a baby girl due in November. We are both so excited for it. I have been talking to her through my wife's belly I can't speak! I've been talking to her through my wife's belly, being excited, feeling kicks, all of the fun stuff. 3 weeks ago, we scheduled the 20-week ultrasound. It'll be closer to 22 weeks. So he seems excited about having a kid. I don't know how you could be an asshole for this. The last week and a half, my grandfather's health has been slowly diminishing. I had a talk with my father and family and were told that sometime within a week of his passing, we would have the funeral. This made my wife and I have a talk about the plan. I asked to be a pallbearer at the funeral. I don't know what that means. But it's a part of the funeral. I have no idea. I think that means, holding the casket. Or let me look it up. Yeah, so it's someone who helps carry the casket. She said she'd want to stay home with the dogs so we didn't have to board them and that I could go by myself to the 4 to 4.5 hour trip up north to my father's hometown. Unfortunately, my grandfather passed away late last night, early this morning. I called my father to make sure he was okay, which he was holding on as much as one would when your father passes away. Oh, bless you. But I was told the funeral would be held at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. This just so happens to be the exact same day my wife has the ultrasound. Reschedule. I feel like you can reschedule. My wife is now upset that I plan to go to my grandfather's funeral instead of go to the ultrasound appointment. And I said, well, we could FaceTime, but it's my grandfather. I know FaceTime isn't the same, but she said, yeah, but this is your daughter. Now she's mad and upset about me. I'm emotionally torn from this because I'm so excited for my baby girl, but I'm really sad about my grandfather. I just want to know if I'm the asshole here. My wife's feelings are always going to be valid, but I feel mine aren't being considered in the situation. I don't know. She's going back on her plans and it sucks. This whole thing sucks, but you are not the asshole. You can't skip someone's funeral for an ultrasound. That sucks. People would understand if you did, but I would never do that. I feel like people should also understand why he would skip the ultrasound for his grandfather's funeral. A funeral is completely different to an ultrasound. An ultrasound is just to check the baby's okay. They already know it's a girl. I don't actually know what they do at 20-week ultrasound. Let me check. It's like an anatomy scan. They just check for abnormalities. It's nothing big. It's just checking the baby's okay. She can always reschedule if she really cares that much about it, but realistically, he can go to another ultrasound. He cannot go to another funeral. I just don't think she is considering his feelings at all, or what he's thinking about, because this is completely unfair. I'm so thankful that you stayed around waiting for this video. I did say I would do it like 5 times and I didn't do it. I apologize for that, but we're finally at the end and I'm so sorry. Am I the asshole for confronting people for eating dessert at the wedding? At a wedding, sorry. So recently I went to my boyfriend's father's wedding, in brackets, remarried. His father was kind enough to take into account my gluten allergy and made sure to have 8 out of 10 dishes gluten-free. He also included a separate I read that as girlfriend, it's gluten-free. He also included a separate gluten-free dessert, which was little bundt cakes. I was so excited I could actually eat at the wedding. Most times for a public event I either eat before due to my allergy. After dinner, the cake was being cut and then it was announced to come get dessert. I was finishing up a conversation, took 30 to 45 seconds. I was finishing up a conversation, took 30 to 45 seconds, when my boyfriend's uncle, who was the only other gluten-free person, came up to me with a cake and told me that all 10 cakes were gone and he had the last one offering to share half. I was upset. I know that only 2 people had an allergy here. I immediately went over to investigate the gluten-free cakes with my boyfriend following. This is weird already. I went over and I spotted a family who I know well and I know are not gluten-free and went up to confront them. This is already weird. When I got there, I saw them have not 1, not 2, but 3 gluten-free cakes, all of which were eaten except for a tiny slither of one, and the other that the husband was just finishing off. I politely asked the husband if he was gluten-free, knowing full well he wasn't. He responded, well, yeah, totally. I prefer gluten-free cakes. It tastes better. Yeah. Okay, I'm confused at that sentence. I look at him and I told him that I have an allergy and I didn't get any. After an awkward moment, the wife finally says, oh, well, here, you can have this if you want. And she reached to give me the mostly eaten cake. I told them, no, it's fine. Just next time, don't eat allergen-friendly food if you don't have an allergy. And walked off to my boyfriend, who was only a few feet away, and told him everything. A bit later, I was talking to some friends when the wife came up behind me and said, hey, that wasn't very nice what you did back there. You made us feel very uncomfortable, and my husband feels bad and uncomfortable with your actions. It would be nice of you to go and apologize to him. I said, sorry? She said, just go over and apologize. I feel like, yeah, that's fair enough. You were rude. And I bit my tongue and went to talk to my boyfriend in private. I told him I was in fact not sorry and had no regret for calling them out for eating my allergy-friendly food. He agreed with me and told me not to apologize and ignore the incident, but I can't get this off my mind. So am I the asshole, and should I go apologize for making the family feel uncomfortable? That's crazy. That is crazy behavior. People are allowed to eat what they want. People are absolutely allowed to eat what they want. And I understand that it's frustrating that you weren't able to eat it beforehand. And also the uncle was really sweet, being like, I know you have an allergy as well, there's only one left, do you want to share? That's really sweet. I do understand how frustrating it is, but going up to a person and confronting them is rude. What you did was rude. It was not kind, and it was not fair for them to be like attacked like that just because they chose a dessert that happened to be gluten-free. Just go quicker, I think. You have to control your own allergy, unfortunately. People aren't responsible for you, and they did accommodate you. You just have to be a bit faster. Unfortunately, the way you handled that was rude and wasn't fair for that family. You should absolutely apologize to them. There are some edits here that I will read. Oh, my boyfriend told me to edit this and inform you I was autistic, so if I seem dense in the comments, I'm genuinely not understanding and I'm taking it literally. This is not an excuse for my actions, only to explain my extra questions in the comment. To an autistic person, when something has been set aside for them, it's been set aside for them. And if other people take it and they're expecting to have it, it is really difficult for them to deal with. And that what is explaining the behaviour. I actually do not think they're the asshole anymore. However, I do not think that the other people are the asshole either. I don't think they did anything wrong. But and the confrontation was unfair. Unfortunately, it was unfair, and you should really apologise, but it does make sense why it happened. There's another edit. I realised I left out some info pointed out in the comments. I don't know if it matters. The family I confronted was in charge of the dessert table, as the caterers were only in charge of dinner. Dessert was set up by the family and was told by the groom to section off and keep the gluten-free cakes separate, and were also told who they were for explicitly. Okay, so they do know who they were for. Realistically, yeah, they can still take what they want, but if they knew and they saw that you didn't have one, I feel like they should have waited till you did have one because you had the allergy. Yeah, they did make some mistakes here. Obviously, we can't expect everybody to make accommodations for us. And even though there were accommodations made, not everyone knows. Obviously, they did know, and that's kind of sucky. They may have thought you had already had some, but there was a whole cake there. There's multiple there. So it's kind of like, why would you... I understand why they did it. I understand that it's hard to sort of police that, but at the same time, I understand why she was upset, and I understand why she had a freak out because of it, because she's autistic. There's a lot of things here that makes it very, very complicated. I don't think anyone's an asshole here, just based on actions. No, based on actions, she's the asshole. But based on, situational actions, no one's an asshole. But I still think you should apologise, because the way you handled that wasn't fair on them. I've been put in a situation multiple times where I just have to move on with it, and it isn't fair. None of this is fair. But I'm family. She is talking to someone who's in someone else's family. You need to apologise. I don't know how to explain this. I don't know how to be funny here, because people are just making me upset. There's nothing more I can say about this, really. It's just a hard situation to be in, and you kind of suck. Hopefully next video will be a bit more fun. We're doing something actually funny next time, and hopefully I'm funny, because this one's kind of boring. I feel like I'm just reading to you and I'm not being funny. We'll have a new Minecraft video out on Monday, and my next video will be Wednesday, so please tune in for that. Love you all to pieces. Oh yeah, sorry, like and subscribe. Please subscribe. Again, I'm a very, 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 very small creator, and I'm trying my best, but I do like creating for you, and I'm having a good time. Hopefully I can get some more people to this channel, so I can start affording things like a mic and a camera to make this better quality for you, because right now I can't. I looked at my analytics the other day, and I found out a lot of people are coming to my channel and not subscribing. How dare you? Come on, please. I'm begging you, please, please. Actually, please. If you're not logged in, I understand, but please. Sorry, my laptop screen is popping off right now, and not it's actually popping off. I don't know why it's doing that. Get back in there. I'll fix it. Yeah, so please like and subscribe. If you want to find me again, watch all my other videos. I have a Minecraft series going on at the moment, and I will have more people in those videos. Right now it's just me, and it's kind of boring. I apologize. I'm not very good at Minecraft. But I have people coming in to help me for the next ones, so my eyes are watering again. So please tune in for those. I swear I'm funny. I swear I'm more lively than this. I'm just having, but I've got to go to work later. I think I'm in a bad mood. I like having you here, so come back, please. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you at the next one. I don't really know what else to say, so I'm gonna go now. Is that okay? Can I go? Okay, bye.